The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining me from. Thank y'all for stopping by the live stream again today. The topic is bad relationships, and women aren't the only reason men are fleeing the West. That's our topic today. But remember, this is always your live stream. Whatever you want to talk about, put it over here, and we'll talk about it. The peso is 55.55. It went up a little bit since the last live stream. Shout out to the NTZ crew. I see Jacob Tanjay on here. I don't know if Michael Beach of Life is going to be on here today. All my old heads, I see Jungle Man Space Cowboy. He said, I'm not alone. You had many women before Maryland. Give Booby a hug. Well, I actually did. And the problems I had with women were a lot of my fault. I wasn't ready to settle down, but it is what it is. Any new viewers and subscribers that are joining us for the first time today, welcome to the channel. And also, anybody catching this on replay. There's Phil Thomas. What's up, Cal? There's Elliot Makata. First of all, I want to start out, I want to apologize. A lot of my base has been banned from my channel, and I've been trying to fix it, and it was my fault. I didn't train the new moderator correctly. The only people that get banned from my channel are trolls and haters. If you disagree, so what? Or if you say something bad, so what? They can put you in timeout. But banning is only reserved for trolls and haters. And a lot of my base has been banned, and I've got to somehow fix it. And I want to apologize for that, but I have to take responsibility. All right. Okay. Here's a little backdrop of what he said. He said women are very tough here until you get the right one. And then he says, I really haven't had any problems with women here. Jungle Man Space Cowboy. What's up, Roger? You know what's in the news today? It's all on the news. Another pedophile was kicked out of the Philippines. Thank goodness. Too much of that is going on over here. But what surprised me is how quiet the YouTube community is about that. It's crickets. They don't say anything about that. Silence is complicit. Okay? When you're silent, you're complicit. This is why I get so angry when people throw them false charges against me. Why do you think I get so angry, guys? Because it's a serious problem over here. And they're going to prosecute you. You're going to be guilty until proven innocent. That's nothing to play with. Disrespect, when they throw out there, he's disrespecting Filipino women, he's exploiting women, he's disrespecting the people. You don't do that over here, guys. There's nothing to play with. But anyway, the sad thing about it is this clown is on the loose. Yeah, they called him over in Australia, but then he got bail and jumped bail. So until he's firmly back in custody, which in America, you wouldn't have got bail for that charge. 16 children were rescued. And it's just strange that it's crickets over here about that, man. But this is the reason I talk about, like on my video yesterday, guys feel guilty when they come over here. See, that's a lot to bear, man, when you come over here. Believe it or not, we're all going to pay for what he did and what others like him did before him and what others are doing now. We all pay for that in a little way, believe it or not. Our reputation, it just keeps going down like this. We're all looked at as sexual deviants over here. So, when guys, talk about the age gap and all that stuff, just because they tolerate it doesn't mean it's accepted. I'm going to give you the nitty gritty, but yeah, it just kind of shocked me that crickets. Hey, that man Charles says, hello, good morning, Calvin and community. Michael Alexander, what's going on? Now, the reason I made this vlog, I actually changed it, which the next vlog I'll talk about how to succeed in retirement, was on YouTube. You see all these videos and all these posts about as if just men coming overseas and then getting into a relationship, meeting a nice woman, and that's it. That's the only reason they're coming over here. Everything else is done. Close the shop, let's go home. But I talk to a lot of guys over here, and I'm, in my experience too, and women in bad relationships are not the only reason we're running over there. I'm going to need y'all's help over here. Tell me some of the reasons y'all trying to escape the West. Okay. A lot of men said that Me Too movement. They said they feel they're targeted over there and they can't be real men. You can't even compliment a woman. If you look at her the wrong way, something's wrong. They can bring up something from 30 years ago and there you done lost everything, your credibility, your reputation, all your savings, trying to get a lawyer, trying to clear your name. Good luck trying to clear your name on something like that. When somebody says, oh, he raped me. I mean, how terrible could that be? So a lot of men are leaving. They said, we don't want any of that. And another reason that we're leaving, of course, is money. Our money goes further. We want more for our retirement dollars. And you can certainly get it over here, but not just over here, but other places. Robert Thomas says, hey, Brother Cal, good to see you today. Robert Thomas, Houston, Texas. Mr. X says, I got a bad picker trying to watch your older stuff. It's good. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I tell guys, to throw your picker away, man. If you was a bad picker over there, you're probably going to be a bad picker over here. I would throw that away. No, I'm not going to diss any other channels, man. Why would I do that? Why would I bring that on somebody else? Okay, he said he wants to come on the live stream. Well, put my address up. My email address, Jacob, and send me a message, man. I'll put you on here the next live stream I had. Thanks, Keith. Ricky Chan says, tuning in from Hong Kong. Wow. I am a Boon Talk brother, Cal. But yeah, money, freedom, guys. Freedom is a lot of reason men say they want to come over here. We want to exercise true freedom over here. I said so much, you probably tired of hearing me saying it, but I've never felt as free as I do here in the Philippines. Nobody bothers me. Nobody follows me around. I'm judged on my character for the most part, But because of acts like this guy from Australia, some Filipinos, they do look at us with a side eye, man. This has been going on for years, decades, centuries, really. But for the most part, you're free over here. If I go to Save More right now, the security guard's not going to follow me around. The guy who dresses up in civilian clothes, he's not going to follow me around. He's going to give himself up the minute he sees me. He's going to speak to me because they know I'm not in there to steal. I'm not a threat. They don't see me as a threat. And I like that. I'm not the number one suspect over here. I don't think I ever be. But I've got true freedom over here. I was reading an article, Newsweek. It says the Western culture makes people unhappy. You know, that 24-hour news cycle. And of course, it talked about the decline in sex, marriage, family. And that's another reason we're fleeing. What's up, Matt? He says, hey, Cal, thank you for sharing real information. I'm getting a great education for my next phase of life. We share with each other, man. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. You're welcome. I just try to give you the nitty gritty the best I can. There is an ugly side like that Australian showed. And really, I see why people don't really talk about it. Say, well, it's none of our business. But you can touch on it without going deep in there. You can talk about why we have the reputation that we have. Why some people don't trust us over here. Because they think that, oh, we're over here for sex. You know, Merlin's even tired of it. See, before she started dealing with me, she never was around a lot of foreigners and a lot of Filipinos who were dating foreigners. She was just living a regular life over here. But now she sees her friends, they jumping from bed to bed. The men are jumping from bed to bed. She never saw it. She's seeing it up close now. And she says, I don't really like it. You know, it's like, you know, she wants to know. She's looking at everybody sideways, even me, like, you know, are there any real relationships over here? She says it's just too easy. And I just try to pass that kind of stuff on, man. You know, I'm not just going to sit there and be interviewed. I'm seeing across the genre, man. It's just people just want easy content. And I get it. I mean, if somebody interviews me, why would I interview them right back? I mean, I don't understand that. That's like, you know, you're getting two of the same interviews. I don't think that's good information. And we need it over here because you're not getting the 360. Hey, DN3001, thanks for that super chat. He said, peace to you and your family. I will be in Manila in about a week. Hope to meet you one day when I'm in your neck of the woods. God bless. Hey, thank you. So he's a DJ. Okay. There's a guy here right now who's visiting. And I told him, I said, you insulted me, man. He didn't even try to come and stay in the guest house and sign the wall. And I consider him a friend. But he did the next best thing. He's staying in Small Fry Beach Resort. Friend of mine, Doug, he owns that place. It's really nice. Roger Walker said, Calvin, I'm tired of the cold weather. My money goes farther and people are more friendly. Yeah, thank you, brother, for sharing that because I don't have that on here, but you're right. That's one of the reasons I came over here, the weather. As I got older, man, those winters, they kicked my behind over there. Now, I'm an insurance agent. I had to go outside every single day. And that wind would just, you couldn't overdress because you remember I'm dealing with seniors and older Americans and they keep their heat on 10 when you go in their house. So I had to leave my overcoat in the car. So I'm just standing there waiting, man. I'm froze. Hey, Jack Wolfgang, that's my buddy from Dumagetti. He said, good morning, Cal, my friend. How are you, sir? Life is great here just outside Dumagetti. Turning 61 next week, then head to Vegas for 5 days to see my daughters. Anything you need from America, bro? Well, you know I like that secret deodorant, man. Bring me some secret deodorant back. That'll be all. I appreciate you, Jack. Well, Booby fell in love with his wife. And, you know, Booby's skeptical of people, but the very first day she met Jives, like she'd been knowing her whole life. Hey, Stephen, thanks for the super chat. He said, thanks for all the great level-headed advice. You're a square shooter, Cal. Please make someone's day. Buy them a Coke with my money. I will. Thank you, brother. I love the child. I said, I can't understand it, Calvin. I would be honored to sign my name. Yeah, I think he was looking. He came over to the gym looking for me yesterday. I didn't go yesterday. I had a headache. But he's a cool guy. I told him, I said, come on, man. You got one more day. At least come over and spend one night. Lamontel, I said, I just got the news about the Australian expat on retirement visa, got caught Sunday for cheating on his wife in jail. Right now, receive a minimum of 6 months in jail in the Philippines. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, where'd you get that news from? I'm not going to share that because unless you can, did it make the newspaper? Or is that gossip? He said, secrets for women, Cal. It is. It's strong enough for a man, though. Made for a woman. But over here, it's the only thing that works for me. Man, it's humid over here. Believe it or not, Maryland doesn't even wear deodorant. I looked it up. She's one of them rare human beings. It's just either something in her system or something missing from her system. She doesn't wear deodorant. She's never worn it. TJ, what's up, brother? He said, damn, I'm getting in here less and less as of today. Hopefully everything's all right for y'all. Yeah, thanks, brother. When you headed back this way? I know you getting settled into your new place. But okay, they said the culture and a lot of men that I talk to over here, the older guys who can go back, who remember a time when men were at the head of the family or the head of the household, they say, we've lost our place in society over there and we want it back. So they're looking for a place. That's why they come up with this traditional, that word tradition, and traditional is trending now. Yeah, he said secret works on my body too. It does. It's the only thing that works for me over here. All that other fancy stuff. Now, something Emmanuel Finley sent me, but I can't afford this stuff. What was that natural stuff he sent me, honey? He sent me the soap and the deodorant. It's like Dr. something. I forgot, but it was expensive. The one bar of soap is $10. I don't have change. I don't have any change. Just take that. One bar of soap is $10. So the deodorant was like $10, but man, it worked and it smelled good too. Oh, okay. TJ says, been a hell of a hustle getting my stuff figured out, but I'm locking in my ticket for next month. Is there a meetup soon? Yeah, we're gonna have a meetup in Cebu this month, the end of this month, and then Cagayan de Oro, which is on your end of town, TJ, in Mindanao. We're going to Mindanao in August. Ryan, the Eaton Warrior, thanks for that super chat. He says, I'm recently divorced, so I'm not even thinking of that business. LOL, but would you say it's smarter to remain unmarried in the Philippines and just be committed? Yeah, I would say before you get married or before you get into a committed relationship, I would say take your time. Because a guy sent me a message yesterday in my Patreon. He said, women are getting angry with him when he breaks it off with them. I said, yeah, because you're laying down with these women, man. When they lay down with you over here, they consider, they consider you a couple then. See? You can't just do that over here. So I would take my time, get in where I fit in, man. If it ain't a fit, it's not a fit, but be careful when you lay down with women over here, man, because and remember, all they got to do is scream that word, and you're going to be in trouble. Steven says, I make my own deodorant out of coconut oil, taro root, and baking soda. Baking soda and taro root have to be very finely pulverized. The recipe is online for homemade deodorant. It works. Awesome. Okay, he said I could live like a king overseas on $3,000 a month. Yeah, money is one of the main reasons. Okay, here's another reason. Men feel unwanted over there, underappreciated, undervalued. Now raise your hand if you've been through that. Okay, TJ Johnson had to move back to California after shit went left with my company up north, so I'm here in the Bay. Oh, okay. Well, I hope everything works out, man. No, Dr. Squatch. Here it is. Yeah. This is the one. This is good stuff here. This guy sent me like, I don't know. He must be a millionaire. He sent me, it's gone though. It was about a year or so ago. He sent me like a whole set of the different, I mean, the soap is just fantastic, man. It smells good. It's like, the different, like, what did he, grapefruit, pine tar. I mean, it's natural. All natural. It's delicious. But that's what it is, Dr. Squatch. He says, yeah, CDO never been sounds like a good excuse to go. You can catch a plane right from Davao, or hell, because I know you're not going to ride a bus to CDO, I'm sure. Mike Dorsville says, hey, Cal, you never try Old Spice. That's much better than Secret. Not for me, because I'm going to tell you what it does to me. If I use Old Spice, right, and then the next time I use it, I can feel like a pain under here, like somebody scratched my underarm. Trust me, I've tried it all. Secret's the only thing that doesn't bother me. It really works over here. Yeah, Frank Ellis said it must be a great feeling not being followed and treated like a thief. It is. Freedom is one of the big reasons men are fleeing the West. I mean, they give themselves up, right when I walk in the store, the little secret shoppers, right? Because they know I'm not going to steal anything. What's up, Michael? There's Eric Terry, man. Yeah, Matt Chapel. I've been to Cagayan Island. When I visited Cagayan de Oro, that was 2011. And I had a great time. I love Cagayan Island. It's just a small place. And then at that time, you give the boat 200 pesos. They take you out to that white sandbar in the middle of the ocean. I mean, it's really white sand. And then you just look around and 360 degrees, nothing but mountain views. It's just beautiful. Yeah, but I've been there. Theo, what's up? He says, I have no children, not married. I just want to live a simple life in peace and retire as young as possible. That's a good plan. What's up? Lee says, I bought Dr. Squash, the black one, and my entire shower turned black. And so I had to rinse out the tub, a bit expensive for soap. Yeah, it works for me, though. I really like it. But it's just too expensive, to buy it, because then it has to come from Amazon, and then they're going to throw that shipping charge on there, and that messes everything up. DN 3001 says at Retire 2019, these overweight American women want you to see them as 8s, 9s, and 10s, and that's because some of these simps here treat them like that. Well, they've even gotten picky. They've even got picky. But y'all know my stance on big women. I mean, some men like them. And people who say, oh, beauty's only skin deep and it's on the inside and all that, that's bullshit, man. If you're a man, you want something nice to look at least give me something I can put my arms around. I don't have to get some damn arm extensions. That man Travel says, I have a whole set of Star Wars Dr. Squatch soap, and I know detergent. It's a chicken magnet nose sniffer. Jack says he's scared to stay in America. And see, that was next on my list. He said, I disagree too much with everything happening there. As you said, the triangle of death is real, more for some than others, but don't deny it's real. That's what I put on here. Violence is another reason men are fleeing the West. Tall Barber says, I'm wondering if they sell Dr. Bonner's Castile soap in the Philippines. That stuff is amazing. They do have a few soaps, Dr. something soaps over here. I'm going to have to look at that Dr. Bonner's. I'm not for sure. Secret War says, I live in LA and there are whales everywhere. It's predominantly plus size. I've officially lost hope in the West. I'm now a global citizen. I've got that on here. Environment change. You know, we've lost our motivation. See, it's like he said, I've lost hope. I need to get out of here so I can get motivated again. You know, people have lost hope over there. Michael says, when is the low season? I'm coming after February. Well, that's the high season as summer approaches. But I never knew there was a high season until I went to Siquijor. And right before I start renting that apartment, I called the Airbnb because the lady had told me she had a good deal for $19,000. She would let me stay there for the whole month. Well, when I called back, she had raised it up 25%. She said, because it's the high season. I was like, I didn't even know it was a high season. But March starts the summer here, and that's the high season. Yeah, that was on here, man. It's a lot of mental health issues that men and women are dealing with over there. And it comes from that Western culture, man, and the rat race, the hamster wheel, all the stress associated with it. Then some guy told me, I put this on here, he said he can't seem to get ahead and stay ahead over there. Now this is a good idea, but I need my contact in the Val to set up a place, because eventually I want to go to Manila too, because I don't see a lot of people having meet and greets in Manila. I'm pretty sure. I'm like, wow, that would have to be a big turnout. But yeah, Mike, that's a great idea. Hook me up, man. Hook us up a place. Okay, Wayne Mitchell, Cebu City. A married man and his mistress were arrested after the white caught them inside an inn in Sitio, Tangasan, Barangay on Saturday, July 1st. Wow. Yeah. Now, is this a foreigner? Now, remember, if you married over here, man, it's a difference. It's not like, okay, you come over here. See, this is totally different than if you come over here and you're caught with a married woman. Because you don't know. You're coming from 8,000 miles away. Now, if you married over here, like they said the guy had an SRV, yeah, you're a permanent resident here. You're probably going to have to pay the piper. Come on, man. It's just dangerous over there. He said, did you hear Stephen A. Smith? Who is Stephen A. Smith? Why are you going to put him up there as like the spokesman for the world? He's a chump, as far as I'm concerned. Well, I'm supposed to bet it all, put it all on the line for what Stephen A. Smith said? Who's doing all that shooting? Black people aren't the only ones dying over there. come on, guys. Don't be stupid. I'm not even going to talk about it. Y'all not going to drag me into this today. I'm just going to get rid of you. So bye, buddy. You're out of here for even trying to bring that up. Chuck Newcomb says, finally, a load of stress should be lifted tomorrow. I found a buyer for my motorcycle. I'll be there in under a month. Wow. Yeah, now this is a fact right here. He said, go to the gym to find a fit woman or somebody on their way to fitness. What's up, Clint? There he is right here, man. At least come by and see me, man. Say, hey, he's here. He's from Vegas. Yeah, he said the medical community only concerned with trying to medicate the entire population. That's true. So much of the problems that we deal with are they want to give you a prescription for it. TJ said, Cal can set up a place in the Val. Didn't know it was something you were looking for. Yeah, but remember, don't pay for it. Just say, hey, it's a give and give situation. Let us rent. We're going to fill the place up, give you some business. But yeah, thanks. He said, I wish this had come up a few months ago. I could get the rooftop for a pretty decent rate when I was living there. Yeah, but we don't want to pay for it. We just want like a restaurant that maybe slow in business, like we did in Ilo. Did y'all see that place? It was really nice, a nice place, like we did at the Morning Glory in Lapu Lapu. But now they've gotten funny with us. We wanted to do it again this month, and they said, well, if you can keep it to 2 hours because y'all stayed too long last time and it got kind of noisy. I'm like, okay, all that money we gave y'all, we'll just find somewhere else. 2 hours is not going to get it. It's going to take you an hour to serve us our food. Mr. X says, I would like to do like some expats and have 2 places or a really nice place in a centralized location when I settle there. No hurries. I'm divorced. My son will come with me. Not sure about my daughter. Yeah, Mike so long. Yeah, I said Mike Oxlong. Yeah. We ain't got time for that. They're not going to pull me into that today, guys. Malcolm Magnificent said, I'm trying to find the vid you made where you were driving up to the mountains. Okay. I think it's called Reunited with my son after the pandemic or something like that. Put that in the search. But I'm going to have to go back up there. I really haven't had time. Especially since my son moved away. But I'm going to go up there and finish the job that we started. But yeah, it's way up there, guys. I mean, this is the mountain province. All provinces are not the same. So when you say, oh, I want to move to the province, well, which province? The mountain province, every island is considered a province. But yeah, all provinces are not the same. Yeah, he said, yeah, they're not all single. Mopar says, thank you for getting rid of that guy. We get enough of that stuff every day over here. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I don't know who's doing all the shooting. Yeah, you're right. Dr. Swat, yes, very expensive, but it's worth it. You get what you pay for. He says, how's your Tagalog? My Tagalog is bad and my Bisaya is worse. But I try. Yeah, I do try. He said, 4th of July guy caught cheating in February was a Brit. If you're going to get married to a Filipino over here, I mean, you can't pull that crap that you're trying to pull because she's going to hunt you down. She's going to make your life miserable. if you got married here, that's the reason I got married there. I wasn't going to get married here because I don't know the law here. I really don't know the law there, but I know I got a better chance over there than here. I mean, you're just sacrificing yourself. Believe it or not, I'm telling you guys, listen to me, man. I'm not just on here yapping and talking. We all foreigners, especially men, we pay a price when guys like that guy from Australia come over here with that foolishness, man. He's not the first one, man. What they're doing is these guys are making tapes and they're selling them online in the dark web and all that. He's paying somebody back here to have sex with the kids, videotaping it, and then sending him the information. Somebody must have tipped them off about him, or he probably was a known pedophile. And they finally just step in and say, yeah, let's take him off the street. Well, the clown is still loose now. They gave him a bond and he ran off. See? Gil Bellamy says, you're bringing the restaurant business. Yeah, that's what we tell them. And we always show up, man. And the tips we leave, man, it's crazy. Yeah, that's right. He said, yeah, but these YouTubers got some of these dudes gassed up thinking they're either Don Juan or Don Magic Juan. Yeah. And that's a fact, man. And we come over here not realizing that you're going to pay a price. Everybody looks at us sideways until you prove that you're not that way. It takes a long time really for them to trust you. Even the woman you're with, man, don't think that she really trusts you. She don't know if you're him or not. They err on the side of caution. We're all him until we prove otherwise. But it was just strange to me that usually, okay, when they start squabbling in Dumagetti, oh, you turn on the YouTube and everybody made a video about it. Well, this guy gets caught sexually abusing children over here in his crickets. I put it on my community page because I want y'all to know it's clowns like that over here, man, and they make us all look bad and we all pay a price for it. But they get a pass. It's funny why the trolls and the haters, there's plenty content right there for you. But they want to come after the good guys. See? They want to come after the good guys. They don't want that easy content. That's easy content right there. If you want to make a video, right there. Hey, Quintessential One said, peace. Thank you, Brother Cal. You're welcome. He said, landslides in the province are common occurrence. Well, it all depends. If you live in a mountain province, but a lot of times when a lot of these man-made roads, like say for instance from here to Bacala, where they cut through those Don Salvador mountains, yeah, there's landslides all the time, but not to the point where they're killing anybody. They may block the road. You know, what's causing the landslides are a lot of this mining. So you don't want to move around a place where there's a mining company or something. Because a couple of years ago, I think it was 2019 or 2018, all those people in Cebu were killed. Not far from where my son lives. There was a landslide. I mean, just buried them. They didn't have a chance. Children too. Mr. X said, my ex-wife is 4'11" and gained weight after we were married. The same with the chick before her. These women don't care what you desire once they think they have you. Michael Harris says, you can be arrested for cheating there. If you're married over here, I guess you could. If the wife brings charges against you like that and then you caught, I mean, how in the world, I mean, I got to blame him. What did he do? Get a place in the same town that he lives Everybody knows you, man. Filipinos, they don't even say anything to you. Remember, they don't say anything to you. To you, you're like, well, I must be invisible, right? But they're watching you. They know they know who you are. And they say, yeah, he's in that hotel with that woman. Trust me, I've been dry snitched on so much over here, man. Early on, I learned that. Okay, that they will tell on you. And if you're smart, you're gonna go on to another island. You're certainly gonna go to another city. He's playing with fire over here to a place where his wife could come and discover them. How stupid can you be? He said, just make sure your wife, the stateside, doesn't have a bee in her bonnet and report you to Inspector Gadget. No. My wife over there is with somebody too. And she's not like that anyway. I mean, it wouldn't do any good. Look, guys. Hi, this is Dave. Let me explain something to you. As far as the Philippines is concerned, I'm not married. They have no documentation of my marriage at all. They only know because I told them. There's nothing on record here that says I'm married because I got married in the United States. We didn't register our marriage here, so she could say all she wants to say. Prove it. Okay, but she's not going to do that. No, she's not going to do that, man. She's living with somebody herself. Oh, the wife had him arrested using the VA. The Violence Against Women and Children law. That's what it is. Violence against women and children. Yeah, it's worse than it was. We come over here, we got our chest poked out. I was just talking about this the other day. Y'all act like I'm just on here yapping and talking. I'm telling you, man, that we'll come over here with our chest poked out and people are looking at you like, man, if you do one thing wrong, I'll cut your head off. Because of all the stuff that happened long before you get here. That's why I put in rule number 1. Shut the fuck up and mind your own business over here. That's the way you get along over here because there's so much stuff that we've done over here in the past. It's a wonder we're even allowed to be over here. And then you want to come over here, your chest poked out, you're looking down at people, treating them like they less than you, not realizing you're a guest over here. You better be careful. I like it because they leave you alone, really. They'll give you a chance for your character to shine through. See, some guys, this is one of the reasons why a lot of guys, they don't like to move overseas because your good reputation and your good name, you leave behind. You got to reestablish all that over here. It takes time. A good name is worth more than gold. You've heard that before. It's true. But over here, you got to start from day one. And then you're looked at as, what's he over here for? You look at that skeptical. Is it just sex you want? Merle shocked me, though, that she came out of the clear blue sky with that because she's seeing some of her friends that she met through my relationships with other guys. She's seeing them go from man to man, and she's seeing the men going from women to women. And it's really shocking to her. She had never seen it before because she wasn't around foreigners, all Filipinos who were dating foreigners until she met me. And it's really disheartening to her. She was like, wow, is any of this real? She said. It's just too easy, she said. She said that, not me. She said it's just too easy for men to come over here and get a woman and for a woman to get a man. It is. But I'm glad she said it because if I say it, I'm going to get in trouble. But the fact that I don't say it doesn't mean it's not happening, man. It is. And I say it all the time. They know how easy it was for you to go online and meet them. And they flipped the script. They said, okay, well, I know how easy that I can go online and meet somebody too. And that's what they're doing. And that's why I warn you guys, start asking questions to the people you're meeting over here. Don't give them a pass because she looked innocent. We're taking them by face value. You can't do that. These innocent girls you're seeing over, they've been 2, 3, 4, 5 foreigners. Okay, you don't want that, man. You don't want that. You don't think, oh, I got this, I got a diamond over here and she's a damn piece of plastic. Gil Bellamy said cheating is not a crime, but an emotional thing that can get you in real trouble, crime of passion. Daniel O, not sure on the details, but it's a law designed to punish cheating by men. The women will be charged with a type of concubine charge and likely banished from their hometown. Yeah, I'm not going to try to practice Philippine law without a license. I'm not even going to speak on that. I've never seen it enforced about anybody that I know. Does it happen? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does happen. You see it all the time on Rafi Tufo. You see it on the news where, the woman bursts in the hotel room and catches the couple naked. But that's all you hear about it. You don't hear the charges and all that. Mr. X said they make expat look vicious and we become notorious in other countries. Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. This has been going on for centuries. So when you come over here, foreigners don't have some sparkling reputation. So it's best that you come over and be humble, keep a low profile, and just respect the people in the culture because there's more that's gone on, way more has gone on before you got here than you will ever realize. Jay Money says, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I go to the Philippines and stay low key, enjoy the country, and never forget my street sense. Yeah, just respect the people here. Just know that this kind of stuff goes on, and it's been going on for a long time, and it's a touchy subject. That's why you don't come over here crying wolf on each other. When the guys brought them false charges up, that's why it's so serious, man. It's the lowest thing you can do because they don't play with that over here, man. It's a serious business, man. It's something that they're really cracking down on. They're ashamed of, and they're angry with us about that. So when you throw out something like that, man, it better be the truth. He says, how hot does it get there? Well, it gets pretty hot. And then when you add the humidity onto it, but only certain times of the year, like right now, it's hot. And it's supposed to be the rainy season. It rains at night most of the time while you're sleeping. Then when you get up, the sun is waiting for you. And the humidity, it's hot, man. Trust me. The video I made yesterday, I only walked maybe 4 or 5 blocks. When I got home, man, I was soaked with sweat. I had to take a bath. But there's things you can do to combat that. Certain hours that you don't want to be out, you can go up to the mall. The malls are free to get in. You got free aircon. Go to the movie. Go swimming. Yeah, I mean, it's true, but, that law, but very seldom do you see it enforced, especially on foreigners, man. That's why I don't talk about stuff like that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to put that out there like that when I don't know for sure, because I certainly haven't seen it. I certainly haven't experienced it. Hey, Aziel Lumko said, good day, Sir Calvin. He said, I need a good woman that can cook, likes fishing, and playing video games. Well, all 3 is probably over here. Well, there is no tricks. Just be a decent human being. It goes far over here. See, what we call a simp is not a simp to them. A simp to us is a good man to them. All you got to do is, like I said, come over here, take a bath, put on some clean clothes, and be a decent human being. Don't mistreat anybody. That's all. There's no tricks to it. We're still on planet Earth. These are still human beings. Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. I get rid of him, but these guys are. I mean, what type of he's out of here. See, we've got enough trouble over here, but we're our worst enemy. See, just like that guy. Remember, we're our worst enemy. We're gonna mess it up for everybody. We're gonna mess it up for everybody. Yeah, thanks, man. I got rid of him. He'll have to make another profile. I said, you're 100% correct. My buddy who was single had a Filipino girlfriend who visited him a few times while he was staying in Moncton. He invited another woman one day, but a hotel worker told his girl, yeah, they're going to tell, man, because their loyalty is to each other, not to you. I took a young lady, and this is way back in 2009. Only the second trip I made to the Philippines. The first trip I was with a 41-year-old woman. We went to Tamboli Beach Resort in Moncton. It was really nice. We had a great time, 10 days, right? Playing with the locals on the beach, buying stuff from this guy every day. Okay, so the next time I came back, and see, it was almost 2 months later, maybe a month and a half later. I have another woman, and I take her to the same place. Well, this guy told her. And she broke down crying, and she said, I thought I was the only one, and I had to explain to her, that I'm not with the woman anymore. But yeah, he told on me, right there in front of me. He was talking to her in her language, and you could just see the expression change on her face. And we get back to the room, and she told me, yeah, he told me you was here with another woman. I said, yeah, but that was 2 months ago. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Should have went to another hotel. They're so cheap here. I mean, really, really cheap. They've got a place here. What's it called? I can't think of the name of it, but it's 600 pesos a night. I mean, it's decent, but there's no hot water. Fresh and low, I said, hey, brother, I'll be in Olmec in a few weeks. I can't wait. I've taken your advice and be extremely cautious, but here in the U.S., it's eroded beyond repair. Freedom, here I come. Yeah, a lot of guys are leaving, man. We left off at the rat race and the hamster wheel. No, we left off at can't seem to get ahead and stay ahead. We're living paycheck to paycheck, a lot of us over there. And we want a little bit better than that in the fourth quarter of our lives. I'd be in overtime if I was in America because I'm liable to get shot and killed at any time from doing nothing over there. But when you say that, people, you're anti-American, renounce your citizenship, the guy said. What, for speaking the truth? I mean, how many times does it have to happen? It just happened again. Not in Philadelphia, but not Baltimore, but it just happened again. Well, a lot of people, I'm not the only one. He said, Cal is a great old lady, as my granddad would say. You got to keep the right one in check and throw the others away. Yeah, I've thrown my pico away, but I've always been a one-woman man. The only time I ever had two women was over here, and I'm not proud of that, but it was early on. I was like 46 years old. I was young then. I could burn the candle at both ends at that time. And the way I looked at it was, well, I'm not treating anybody bad. They know about it. I'm taking good care of both of them. So what's the deal? But you can't juggle two women like that, man. It's hard to do over here because they're going to be on you like white on rice. They're going to be on you, man. It's going to be hard. And you didn't come over here for stress. You come over here to get rid of some of that stress you got over there. But you try to deal with 2 or 3 women over here, unless it's at the bar, and you're going to be stressed. Hey, thanks, Daniel. He said, I'm starting to think marriage is unnecessary. Yeah, I am too, really. I mean, no matter what you do, it's going to end eventually anyway. Either you're going to die, they're going to die, you're going to leave. And over here, it's just so much red tape you got to cut through with the cultural differences and the insecurities and all of that. The open secrets, I was told that there's the three main reasons people get divorced is money, sex, and a third party. Now, a third party doesn't have to be you're cheating or you got an affair, but it's letting other people into your marriage. Tell them what's going on. What upsets you about the person and all that. You can't do that. But that's going to happen over here. And that's what makes it so uncomfortable for me. That's one of the big things I don't like about relationships, because you're going to go around people. They're going to know stuff about you that they shouldn't know because your girlfriend's told them. And, it makes me feel uncomfortable because I know that they know. Hey, Shelby, how's your wife, Wendy? Said, hey, Calvin, when I went to my wife's parents' house in the province, I was humbled and stayed humble and had a great time. How did the family from Shelby and Wendy from Michigan? Thanks, man. Yeah, see, that's all you have to do. People have been coming here for a long time, but we come over here with a Christopher Columbus attitude, and you can see it in some of the vloggers. They think they just really coming over here conquering and, I discovered the Philippines and here's what it is and all of that. This place has been here for thousands of years. You haven't discovered nothing. And it's best to come over here and sit down and shut up, man, and just observe. Find out what's going on before you proceed. Like I said, it was 107 here today in Texas. The garden soil that I was trying to grow a garden in was 117. Wow. Well, just the other day, what was it, July the 3rd? They said it was the hottest. Yeah, here it was. Yesterday, he said it was the hottest day on record on Earth. Yeah, I read that same thing today. He said, my daughter says it's so hot here, it feels like the devil's breathing on her. She's going back to the States in September. It can be really, really hot. But I've gotten used to it because I'm going to tell you something. I go from point A to point B. I don't play around. You don't have no time to be stopping. If you stop with somebody on the street and you shooting the breeze, you're going to be covered with sweat. You have to turn around and go back home and take a shower. You have to say, hey, look, man, I'm on my way to the store. I'll see you some other time. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Real Talk with Paul said it's hot if you are not used to hot weather. It might be for you. I'm in Mangaldan and it gets hot. I like hot weather though, see, because I know some things I can do. In Sikihor, he's got so many trees on his property and you get that constant breeze from the ocean. Even here in St. Carlos, we got a park called People's Park. You can go sit right on the ocean up under some trees and that breeze will cool you down. But if you're just trying to walk around the city, man, you're asking for it. Because the sun over here is no respect of people. You can be purple, black, or bright white. It don't matter. It's going to burn you. And some black guy says, oh, man, you're exaggerating. Black people don't burn. Bullshit. I done burned so much. I mean, on my shoulders, the top of my head, my nose. I mean, burned. Scorched. Isaiah Allison, Cal, have you noticed lately that a few new as well as established Philippine bloggers have adapted to the not just portraying the sugar side of the field's content? Were any doing so before you? I don't think so. But that's good because we need that. And we certainly need to stop giving people this story like this Australian guy a pass. nobody on YouTube is even talking about it. I'm like, if y'all looking for content, there it is. That's all the content you can dream about having, but they won't touch it. They won't touch it. They would rather tell you, what's the best way, like the guy said, the secrets to finding a Filipino. Show up over here, take a bath, show up over here, put some clean clothes on, and have a few dollars in your wallet. That's all you need, and be a decent human being. There's no tricks to it, but they'll make a video. They'll make a whole 15-minute video about that and get 20,000 views. They're selling that fantasy, man. You got to be careful selling that fantasy, man. I know when you're a new vlogger, you're infatuated with the Philippines. Thanks, Camilla Cookie. That's Shelby and Wendy from Michigan. Thank y'all for y'all support. And a lot of times, you're afraid to really tell the truth. See, a lot of people over here, they're afraid to tell the truth because of stuff like this Australian. They know that it's really a touchy subject. So if you say anything negative, people are going to be on you. Imagine that 4F video I made. The trolls jumped all on that and tried to misinterpret it and throw it back out there to the people, right? Because they know how sensitive it can be on subjects like that over here. So they don't talk about it. All they want to do is interview each other. I think that if you're going to click on my channel, I got to have some type of substance. It may not be the best. We're not trained journalists or something like that, but hell, at least give me some real information. Don't be interviewing the same people over and over. I felt sorry for my buddy Calvin Johnson. He came to my meet and greet, and man, somebody put him on their channel, and the next thing you know, he was on about 4 different channels. He says, TJ says, I'll give the Philippines this hyper-specific compliment. It's probably the best place to look for a girlfriend if you're a Western video game, anime, comic nerd. Yeah, they love comedy here. Most of the big Filipino vloggers, they don't talk about stuff we talk about. It's more comedy, like Sikihor Vines. They've got some vloggers in Sikihor. They're huge. I mean, they may have 1 million subscribers by now. And they just play out these little comical scenes and stuff like that. They don't really talk about. The only ones that you see talking about that, they're targeting Western vloggers because they know it's a lot of, targeting Western viewers because they know it's a lot of money involved in that. They know when you click on that video, man, they're getting paid 10 times more than if a Filipino clicks on it. And they know that people, if they like you, they're going to support you. Because $10, $5 is nothing to us. Hell, it's a full day's pay over here. They said, hell, let me get some of that money. So they're going to give you this sugary, it's not the real stuff. And, I don't blame them, but you're going to see a lot of that stuff. And all you got to do is look on YouTube and you'll say, oh, wow. It's just so many now. But it's still only a small fraction of expat life over here. Don't just go by what we're saying and thinking, oh, I'm not coming to the Philippines or I'm coming. Just come over here and have your own perspective, your own boots on the ground. Because it's only a small fraction, because some guy was talking about the Dumaguete drama. I'm like, man, it's really not like that for real in Dumaguete. You're just seeing a few vloggers going at each other. 99% of them guys in Dumaguete, man, are good guys. I've been to these meet and greets they have. It's just some unbelievable people that come there. Every meet and greet I have, you're going to meet some of the greatest human beings that walk this earth. I'm not playing. I'm telling you the truth. These are the ones that show up at the meet and greets. It's not them guys on the fringes, hiding, and all of that, doing this old crazy stuff that they're doing. Boo-hoo says, yeah, he told on me. He did. And it's going to happen to you. They're going to dry snitch on you over here. AKA Winston Thomas says, hey, Cal, if you had to do over, would you have taken your lady to the U.S.? Absolutely, I would have. Because she's thriving over there, really. There was nothing, we split up over here, not over there. We had a great relationship. A great relationship. We were in love when we split up. There was no argument. We never had an argument. We never had a fight until after we split up. But it's hard to be two places at one time. And that was the reason we split up. But no, I have no regrets. She thrived over there. And most of the women that you take over there, they're not going to run off on you. But when it came time to live out our plan, which we had planned, she balked. And that's all it was. But no, we never had a problem. I'd do it again. When I made my video, I told you the risks that were involved because being with her, I saw it up close. They established that they just got the greatest support group probably in the world. Filipinos do around the planet. They just do, man. They talk about the crab in the burrow over here, but once they get outside the United States, man, you need a place to stay. You need a job. We'll introduce you to somebody. You need to borrow some money. They did it all. I remember, okay, in 2017, okay, when I told, no, it was 2017 or 18, I can't remember. But we were over here, and my bank account had got compromised. So it takes like 10 days to get my money back. Well, one of my wife's friends over there is a nurse. She paid my rent for me over there. She said, just pay me when you get back. Do you think I got family and friends like that? Absolutely not. Maybe now. But this woman said, don't worry. She said, just give me the address of your landlord. She went over there and wrote them a check for our rent. That's the type of support they got over there. I'm trying to establish it over here, but hell, like the guy said, we're stiff-necked, man. We're hard-headed. We won't do it. We bring all that over. We want to fight each other. Hey, Carlos Stewart, thanks for that super sticker. He said, thanks. Yeah, he won the hot dog eating contest. Wow, 62 hot dogs. What a feat. Yeah, I was looking at something. I was reading something that said, what happens to your stomach after you eat 75 hot dogs or something? I think that's the record. He says, hey, I'm just getting on. What's the topic? I'm trying to follow along. Okay, we're saying that men are fleeing the West for more reasons than just bad relationships and women. It makes it seem like that's all we're looking for when we come over here because you see the videos, you see the posts. They got these men, they smiling with the Filipino, the Asian, or Colombian, or whatever it is. And it's like, okay, party's over, close the door. We got what we came for. But that's not the only reason men are coming over here, guys. I promise you, it wasn't the reason I started traveling. There was no woman involved. He said, ain't nobody getting married no more in America. He said, especially here. He said, ain't nobody getting married anymore, especially in America. Bridal shops are going bankrupt. It's over. Yeah, remember all these women were getting these bridal, the people who set up your marriage, your wedding. I know they're out of business. He said that big old hamster wheel is calling. We'll catch you all next session. Thanks, Jacob. Hey, what's up, Coach Cheese? I haven't heard from you in a while, brother. Happy 4th to you, man. Thanks for that super chat. Okay, yeah, and we talked about this. He said the West is trying to eliminate masculinity. And that's what he says. He says, we've lost our place in society. One guy came on here and said he's giving up, man. He's lost all hope. And we got that on here, but, you know, an environment change, you think I'm joking. Don't take my word for it. Go and read about it. Some of us are stewing and we're marinating in just a toxic environment. And you're getting sicker and sicker and sicker. You're afraid to leave. Okay? Growth is uncomfortable, man, but you're either going to grow or go. A change of environment is probably all you need. Hey, Military Dog said Dumaguet's less appealing after the drama. Don't let it be. Dumaguet's a great place, man. I'm telling you. That's a very few tiny percentage of expats, man, that they represent. Okay? Don't let that discourage you, man. Dumaguet's a nice place to live. It's not as big as Cebu and Manila and all those places, but it's got everything you need there. Mr. Passport King said, anyone mention politics? I can't stand the polarization and extremes. Nobody said that. But that's part of the culture, see? The 24-hour news cycle, the decline in sex. You know, women, you know, they have that power over us over there. Around the world, really. They can take it or leave it, but a man, he can't. You got that nut sack. And if it's working, you need it. There is no, oh, well, I don't want it today. You need it. Jack, he's in Dumaguete. He said, you can choose to stay away from drama even in Dumaguete. There's very little drama in Dumaguete, really. Don't let these these YouTube vloggers fool you, man. It's not. Okay, I'm probably going to go there later on today or in the morning for sure. And you go on that boulevard, it's going to be crickets, really. Even at night, what you're going to see Filipinos out there. You may see a few expats walking around with their dog or with their girlfriend, but very few. Now, if you want to sit in the what not bar, then you're going to see them all day long. Yeah, Phil Stevens is right. He said, you'll never see those guys. You're right. You aren't. You're not going to see them. I go there all the time. I wouldn't want to live in Dumaguete, not after living in St. Carlos City, because the traffic can get kind of bad in Dumaguete certain times of day. That's the only reason I wouldn't move there. But other than that, I would move there. You got that boulevard. You're right there by Siquijor Island. You're 4 hours from Cebu, 2 hours from Bohol. Okay, I will. He says, Cal, let me know if you want me for coffee or dinner. I will. I'll let you know. They got a lot of nice restaurants. They got a lot of Western foods and stuff that you can eat in Dumaguete. They got that big mall. It's just a lot of things you can do in Dumaguete. Then you can go up the coast, Darwin, Bacone, Zamboanguita, Chaton, and just keep going. Cedric Giles says the constant judging and unsolicited and different opinions on almost anything, driving reckless in urban America, has become a national pastime with no repercussion. It adds to our stress here. Yes, it's a culture. That's what they say. That Western culture will wear you down. You don't have that over here. See, some guy says, oh, you haven't changed. The Philippines didn't change you. You just got an audience now. I said, dude, you don't know me. See, this is what I don't like about Americans. We're so arrogant to make a statement like that. I have changed. The Philippines has changed me. I mean, you don't know me now. You certainly didn't know me before I got here. He said, name the place and time, my friend. Yeah, I like that Ground Zero, believe it or not. I like their pizza. He said housing costs, Johnny G, have forced me to change my retirement plans. I have a nice small home, but it's way overpriced here in Texas. Property taxes have doubled my mortgage. I got money on here. See, we want our money to go further. Imagine what the dollar was worth 40 years ago, even 30 years ago when you started your job. Now what it's worth now. The value of your dollar. It's way down. So you can come over here and some guy says, oh, you were lying about that free money. No, it's free money. If my rent was $900 there and it's $200 here, that's $700 in my pocket. It doesn't mean I got to spend it. I've got to learn how to save. But I don't know what kind of mathematics you're using. 900 minus 700 is 200. Or 900 minus 200 is 700. Some things are going to be about the same, like food, your food costs. But you're only going to be instead of taking care of a whole family, it's probably just going to be you and your woman. Or you by yourself. So you're going to save. You do get free money when you come over here. Fresh Aloha says, Brother Cal, I'm watching the news here in California, the Bay Area. They are reporting multiple mass shootings and several dead on 4th of July weekend. Our country has gone mad. I don't get it. You know what? Of course, you know what the response was from the president. Oh, we need some action on the guns. No, you need some action on those fools over there. They act like the guns are walking around in big black boots in America, just going off shooting people on their own. See, they don't want to acknowledge the real problem. Houston, we got a problem over there. And it's mental health. It's our culture. It's driving people to the gates of insanity. I mean, it doesn't make sense for somebody to pick up a rifle and a gun like the guy did in Newberry and kill all those first graders, those little elementary school. What would cause somebody to do that? You would think something like that would only happen once in a century, but it happens just about every week now over in America. It started with Columbine, and then, even before Columbine, one of the first mass shootings happened in my hometown, Louisville, Kentucky. Look it up. It was at Standard Gravure. They were the printing company for the Courier Journal, which was the newspaper in Louisville, Kentucky. And the guy went off. He came there and he killed 8 or 9 people in himself. Something drove him to that. Then all the people were starting to go off in the post office. We didn't forget all about that stuff. We become desensitized to it. You forget about it. It happens so much, because the news cycle over there, it makes you forget. That wasn't long ago. Those people in Buffalo, New York, they were in there shopping and some lunatic comes in there with an automatic assault rifle and kills 10 people. Most of them old people. He said, I'll be visiting Western Messiah soon. I may say hi if you're near Bacolod. I am. I'm about 2 hours away. He said, if money was no object, would you live in the Philippines? I would, because when I came here initially in 2009, money was no object, man. I was earning about $20,000 a month. My insurance agency was cranking out that type of money for me. I could have lived anywhere, believe it or not. But it's more than money for me. It's a freedom over here that I get. I mean, I would love to live on the Gold Coast in Chicago down there for the summer, if I could afford it. Right there on Lakeshore Drive, right near the Magnificent Mile. But I would still take the Philippines based on my needs. I need peace and quiet, really. And you got that here in abundance. I needed to get off that rat race, man. I need to get out of that rat race and off that hamster wheel. Yeah. He said, what do people expect when there are no repercussions for crimes these days? Well, there's repercussions when they catch you. That's the problem, Jim. They're not being caught. Look this up in Louisville, Kentucky, okay? I get sick doing it. I can just go back 5 years and look at the unsolved murders in Louisville, Kentucky, this little sleepy Midwestern town. And you're talking about something like 65% of all murders go unsolved. One of the lowest in the whole country. So if you're talking about, yeah, there's no repercussions because they're not solving the cases, for some reason. But the ones that they catch, yeah, they're getting thrown under the jail. Ravens dog said, Patty has so many beautiful women, an honest man can easily ruin his marriage. It's the same over here. It's the same over here. That's the only problem with living in the Philippines if you are in a committed relationship or marriage, because you're going to be a man, you got your nuts, and they're still working. They're going to push you towards some insanity. But I met a couple here that the man's in a great relationship. They're swingers, they do threesomes, foursomes, and stuff like that. And, I guess you can't beat that. But I asked him, I said, man, you don't have a problem with somebody being with your wife? He said, no. He said, because I'm with somebody else's wife. I wish I could be like that. I can't be like that. He says a lot of everything in Patty. I love Patty. It's a lot of foreigners, that's for sure. You don't have to know the language over in Thailand. Yeah, you don't have to know the language in Thailand because so many foreigners. See, that would be the only reason. I'm part of a group. It's called Brothers and Sisters in Thailand, man. I'm like, wow. Going over there in certain areas, it's like you're still at home. Globalismo Black Man says it's more than money moving to the Philippines from the West. Stress-free living in Paradise Islands of the Philippines has been my motivation since my first visit from the UK in 2008. Yeah, it's not just money. It certainly wasn't bad relationships and women that ran me over. It was a hamster wheel. It was the rat race. Being an insurance agent, man, you don't understand how stressful that is. I don't care if you work for yourself or you work for a company. No matter what you did last month, it doesn't matter once the first of the month rolls around. And when you do that, for me, I did it 16 years in a row. It does something to you psychologically because you start all over. I mean, you could have set the record for sales in 1 month for your company. July 1st rolls around, it don't mean anything. You start all over again. Man, you're talking about that's deflating. And I just used to do that month after month after month. And I'm working on commission. So if I don't get it done, I don't get paid. It's a stressful. Was it rewarding? Yeah, but it's stressful, man. He says, Puck Daddy said, greetings, Sir Calvin. For your information, over 600 traffic fatalities in the States over the 4th. Wow, drinking and impaired driving is a bigger problem than guns. I never said guns was a problem. I said the people are a problem. So what are we going to do? Get rid of cars, Puck Daddy? Is that the solution to drinking and impaired driving? Just outlaw the cars? I mean, that's the thinking over there with the guns. Oh, we just outlaw the guns. Not realizing that most of these tragedies are happening with legalized firearms. People acquired the firearms legally. But yeah, I mean, I never said it was the guns. And I'm not telling you, I'm telling you now, it's not the cars, it's the people behind the wheel. Eric says, hey, Calvin, hello, everyone. Yeah, you need that nappy dugout. He said, man, I'm so late. Buck Daddy said, yeah, there are 160 murders in Louisville, Kentucky. How many of them, all you got to do is put in there unsolved murders, Louisville, Kentucky, 2022. It's going to come up. Out of that 160, you're going to count, and you're going to be like, damn, they're not catching anybody. My daughter's, the father of her children, he was killed 2 years ago. Of course, they haven't found out who murdered him. So my old neighborhood where I grew up in, there's just all kind of murderers just walking around free. That's why I moved out. Yeah, Johnny G says, hey, Cal, I was going to send a vehicle there until I found out about all the taxes, making it way too expensive. But aren't cars there overpriced too? Yeah. For some reason, because of the taxes. Now, they do have cars that are manufactured over here in the Philippines. I don't know which ones. But when John was alive, we did a comparison. Every similar model that they have in America versus over here, the Philippines was higher. Yeah. See, this is where I am. And this is just something else for us to argue about over there. People know it's not the guns. They don't really want to address the real problem. It's the people. We've got a screwed up culture, but that doesn't coincide with the greatest nation in the world. It doesn't coincide with that propaganda. So if you got the greatest nation in the world, that means you got the greatest people in the world, right? If you're going to say that, you're going to say, well, we're the greatest people. So in other words, we're over everybody else. And that's the problem that you see when we go out in the rest of the world. We think that we're better than everybody else. And it causes us a lot of trouble. Well, see, John didn't go anywhere in Dumaguete. John probably only went to Dumaguete 2 times. And because the women wasn't all over him like they are other places he went, he said he didn't like it. John said that he didn't like Dumaguete because he said the people there are used to seeing foreigners, so expats aren't anything special. Okay, now unless you go way somewhere like in some of these mountain province and stuff like that, where they probably never seen a foreigner. Places you go in the Philippines, they've seen you before. Okay. But John just was saying that because they wasn't, if he say something to a girl, she wasn't, falling all over and blushing and all that. The few times he did it. John only went to Dumaguete a couple of times when I knew him. But I'm trying to tell you, I'm boots on the ground in Dumaguete, man, a lot. And you'll really like Dumaguete. If you like beautiful women, man, you really gonna like Dumaguete. I don't know. I guess because it has those colleges there. I mean, it's just so many for that little area. I mean, just unbelievably beautiful women. Raven Dog said, Calvin, you made a good decision renting that beach house on Sikyo Island. Wake up in the morning with a cup of coffee, walk along the beach. I do that every day. I'm leaving today, headed back, because I miss it. Here, it's just too hot. I'd have to go all the way to People's Park and sit there and, you got to get the motivation to go out, check the tricycle, go all the way there, and come back. But there, I can just get up and just walk, 100 feet, 200 feet. I'm at the beach. You got that breeze blowing out for there. It's so quiet. It's so quiet, man. And I live right across the street from a school. It's elementary through high school. and it's still quiet. Let's see. Uh, yeah, I really enjoyed Patio. Yeah, he said that's some serious payday. Yeah, but you got to realize I had 20 agents under my contract. I was getting 50% of their commission and 100% of mine. I had 2 good years where money was never an object. Monetarily and materialistically, I lived as bad as I've ever lived. But I was sick, man. I really was sick. I used to ride around. I remember one time I'm riding because I didn't want to go home. My home life was dysfunctional. Me and my wife, man, we stayed at it because she had that peculiar mental twist. She forgot the suffering that we used to go through before I stopped drinking. So now that we got this big house, brand new convertible, new van, 2 decks on the back, everything. She's got a daycare center. Now it's all you think you all that. So I wouldn't go home. I'd drive around. I remember one time I was driving around my convertible. I had a brand new convertible. I had a $67,000 check in my glove compartment that stayed uncashed for 3 or 4 days. It's just the state of mind I was in. I was real unhappy, man. I was real unhappy. But when I came over here, the very first time I came here, I knew this is where I was going to live eventually. This is where I was going to live eventually. It checked all the boxes for me. I'm a chronic nail biter. Well, I was. I come over here, I stopped biting my nails, period, completely. To the point I have to get a manicure once a month. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's true, man. The environment over here is so much different than it is there. For me, it is. China's all the Vulcan says 100,000 Americans died from Fenty. What's that? Why didn't they outlaw Fenty AI? Yeah. Oh, fentanyl. Okay. Cocaine found in the White House resident bathroom. Why didn't they ban cocaine? Yeah. See, that's the way we look at things over there. And they just do that on purpose. This is what I was running from. I mean, that's pure ignorance to think that banning guns is going to solve that problem over there with that. What about the millions and millions of guns in existence? What are you going to do with those? Thomas Marshall said you have to expect people to stare at you here. You're different. Yeah, but they're not. Well, that's one thing that you got to get used to. But I've got a solution to that. Anybody that has a problem getting stared at, all you have to do, and my buddy, what's his name? Kurt Van Axel taught me this. He said, just look down at a Filipino's feet. They'll stop staring at you. Now, why that is, I don't know, but it works. So when you see somebody staring at you, just look down at their feet. It's going to stop that. He said because the tanduay costs more. Now, he told me why. He said because, he wasn't a hot commodity there. Women wasn't all over him. And, he said it's because they're used to seeing foreigners all the time. But they're still Filipinos, man. They're still friendly, man. They're still warm and welcoming. He said, who's John? Yeah, he was a Moonshine Shoulders. That was my buddy. He used to be on the show every Friday. He passed away from a heart attack. It'd be 2 years in January, man. Wow. He said, Cal, did you hear about the foreigner who cheated on his wife and was having an affair? The wife called the police and had him arrested for adultery. Word is he will be deported. Yeah. And then what's going to happen is, okay, she's going to see the error of her ways. It's too late. You didn't have your husband deported. You know what we do in a fit of rage and anger? We do something stupid. I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with me. I'm not going to make somebody stay with me. Okay, should he have left and went somewhere else? Probably. I mean, you know, he has to take some type of responsibility for that. If you're going to get married in the Philippines like that, then pay for the separation, pay for the divorce. If you know you're going to do stuff like that. King Arthur, thanks for that super chat. He said, America, the greatest justice system in the world. What other country can you try and assassinate the president and walk away free years later? Yeah, he's out, right? He says, I'm still saddened by his too early passing. Yeah, see, he was right there in Dumaguete. It's funny how he talked about Dumaguete, and Dumaguete, in the end, in his words, failed him. He said, Calvin, I had a heart attack, and I thought because I was in Dumaguete, I was going to be okay. But the hospitals he went to had never done an angioplasty before. So they were filling John up with nitroglycerin and morphine. And they just basically tried to stabilize him there. And then 9 days later, they released him. He came back all the way back to San Carlos City. Then went back to Cebu on the ferry again, all that driving. And he died during the procedure. Okay, but let's be honest. His girlfriend said he was still smoking. And, you know, that's never good. But let's talk about some of these ways some of these other reasons besides women, because I know a lot of you guys, you think that a good woman is going to be the solution, man. There's nothing outside of you that's going to fix you, okay? I'm going to tell you, you can come over and get the nicest woman you want. But once all that, whereas, you know, once the smoke clears, you're still going to be in the same situation. But there are men who come over here because they can't seem to get a good relationship over there, a good woman. But most people that I talk to, that's not the reason they come here. One man I talked to, he said it was the Me Too movement that scared him. He said, Calvin, I had to get out of there as soon as I possibly could. He said, I was afraid that somebody was going to bring up something that I had did way back in high school or something. And it makes sense because they can do that to you. A woman can show up at, you know, because what they say now, there's no statute of limitations on that. The woman can come back so many years and say, hey, you know, he sexually assaulted me, which we used to hit girls on the butt and run. That would be considered sexual assault today. And let alone grab their boobs and run. I think Maryland is, Jack, not booby. And if we do leave today, you know, we're going to get back late because it's a 5 hour, it's a legitimate 5 hour ride on the bus from San Carlos City to Dumaguete. Robert Dame says the men who are pushing marriage in the Philippines, not the women. Yeah, it is. You may be onto something there because we want to own them some kind of way. You know, so we try to buy them too. You know, it's like, well, I better lock her up before somebody else gets her. Not realizing nobody's coming over here really. It's starting to slow down again. Not that it was really, you know, running over, you know, with foreigners, but it's starting to slow down again. Nobody's coming over here. I told the guy that. I said, man, there's no sense in you rushing over here. Nobody wants that woman but you. But he didn't believe me. Now he's over here. He's unhappy, really. But you could be right. Yeah, they're pushing marriage. when you really don't have to get married. I wouldn't get married right away. It's too much you got to deal with, man. Y'all think the cultural stuff is no big deal. It is, man. It's really, really a big deal. I'm telling you that it's a big deal. Imagine I'm in my own house, man. I can't understand what people are saying. And, it's just a part of living over here, though. I can't force them to speak English. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it would change anything, really, but it's just something you got to deal with. I'm still asking Mom, what do they say, what your mother say, what y'all talking about? In my own house. Real talk with Paul said, I told my lady I didn't come to the Philippines for a woman. I came here for a better life. With or without you, I'm going to be here. Cal Buster, Cal, what's your opinion if pushed to the limit with Vladimir Putin? Will Vladimir Putin actually use nukes, or is he bluffing? Well, I don't know. Remember, the United States used nukes before. So just going by what we did, I would say he probably would. I mean, we're the wrong country to be asking that question. Will we use them again? I think it was so terrible, but to be honest with you, I believe there's some type of international agreement. I think after they saw what happened over in Japan, you see America hasn't used it again, which they probably could have used it in Vietnam and all them places. They haven't used it again. It was so bad that even they saw the error of their ways and said, no, we better not pull this out again for no reason. I mean, we just use these words, guys, like it's nothing, man. Nuclear weapons, some people never even knew what hit them. I mean, it was bad. I mean, it's still affecting people nowadays. He said it's going to be World War III. He said within 15 years. I don't know. He said, are you still in touch with Buck? I'm not. I haven't talked to Buck probably in over 2 years. Since even before the Philippines opened up, which would have been 22. So, yeah, almost 2 years. But I heard he was a truck driver now, traveling the country, so he doesn't really have time. But he's probably listening, man, we fall out over some stupid stuff. I don't even know why he even got mad at me. I mean, if you're going to be mad, at least say, hey, man, I appreciate what you said or what you did. They just stopped showing up. You'll see them on another channel and stuff. Sammy Davis says the high rate of marriage could be because it's the most foreigners want a home here, but they can't own the land. Getting married helps you bypass that law. How is that, Sammy? How does it help you bypass that law? You still don't own it. Now, if she dies, you can inherit it. But even if you get married, you don't own the land. But remember, I'm not trying to practice Philippine law without a license. I really don't know that. But now it's too many guys over here that I know, foreigners who are married. They still don't own the land. I love the child said they're similar to Tampo. You don't know why she's not talking. Yeah, you'll have inheritance. Yeah, you can get it that way. That's what I'm saying. But you better make sure that's rock solid. And there's nobody else that can get that before you. Because most people don't have wills. Raise your hand if you got a will. We don't take time to do that kind of stuff like that. I'm like Sigmund Freud. We never think about our own death, not seriously. It happens around us all the time. But most people, I'm an insurance agent. I know we never think we're going to die. You know what most of my clients say to me after a death in the family? It's always, I wish I would have took out more. I wish I'd have took out more insurance. They say that 100% of the time. But it's never enough. But yeah, that is one way you can get it. There's a few ways you can do it besides the, sweetheart deal. What do you call it? The sugar contract. Most of us are under sugar contract over here. That's where everything's in the Philippines' name. See, I mean, that's why you have to be careful how much you spending over here, because it's all in her name. There's nothing in your name. What, that motorcycle you got, that car, that don't mean nothing. They don't care nothing about that. Everything's in the Philippines' name. But he said there's a way around that. Inheritance is one way. I guess a corporation. There's a lot of other ways, but I would talk to a lawyer. But most of us are under that sugar contract. S1 Philly Vibe said, hell, the real test is try to communicate with messages on those dating sites. That's your first challenge. It's like talking to a 6-year-old sometimes. Yeah, but remember, you got to turn that around. Imagine if they were communicating with you in their language. Could you understand that? You couldn't understand it. See, this is what I'm saying about the cultural differences. We're going to put it all on her to speak English and speak real good English. But we're going to sit back and we're not going to try to learn their language at all. This is where a lot of the problems come into, man. You're not going to learn the language over here, no matter how much you try. And you can say it all you want. So when you come over here, you're not going to know what they're saying. You're not going to know if they're talking about you or not. Boohoo says you can do an ironclad wheel online here for under $100, but have we done it? It's one thing being able to do it, but how many people take the time to do a wheel? We talk about stuff like that, but we don't do it, man. I'm telling you, man. John didn't have a wheel, but he was talking all that financial stuff and didn't have a wheel. And he had some pretty good money that he had accumulated in his life. Okay. Carl Butt said, Cal, please put down the fish sauce and give Marilyn's mom to cook you some hot nilaga or boolaloo. Yeah, boolaloo soup. She makes that all the time. Now, you're spelling boolaloo wrong. Yeah, we take it for granted that they're supposed to speak our language. Remember, a lot of Filipinos, they can speak English, but they don't speak it. And because they don't speak it every day, 24 hours a day, they're rusty. They're rusty. So we take for granted, that they understand everything we saying, which they don't, especially me. I mean, you're talking about having your feelings hurt when a Filipino tells you that you're slang, man. I mean, it makes me angry when they do that. I'm like, what do you mean I'm slang? I'm speaking, my English and my dialect. I mean, that's cruel when they say something like that. They're not trying to be cruel. But it's like me telling them that their Messiah's bad. But they'll tell you, yeah, you're slang. I can't understand you. Yeah, boolalo, suit, not boolaloo. Boolaloo. That sounds like a dance. Yeah, no, you're the exception, boo-hoo, to the rule. Most of the guys watching this, they have no wheel. I wish they did. It's just too many. Probate's going to get a lot of that. When my mother died, she didn't have a will. My mother worked her fingers to the bone for a little house that, wasn't worth a whole lot really, but when she died without that will, hers, let's see, how many children did she have at that time? Her 7 remaining children. We got $89 each out of the sale of her house. The lawyer was more than that. The lawyer got way more than that. And he says, what insurance do you have over here? I just got the Feel Health, which it helps with some things. But they've got other health insurance you can buy over here. But remember, your good health buys your health insurance. I wouldn't wait. Give me a policy now while you're in good health. Pacific Cross, Aetna, whichever one. Just make sure that it's accepted fully in the Philippines. But don't wait. Pre-existing illnesses and all that, man, conditions, you're going to pay for that. And you're going to wait. A lot of times it's going to be reimbursement. The best thing to do over here would be to have you about 250 to 500,000 pesos set aside and take good care of yourself, which we're not going to do. We think we can eat what we want, do what we want, and then just show up at the doctor. The best insurance in the world is not going to save you. It's good, healthy living the best you can. That's what's going to save you. You can be living right next to a hospital and die by the time they get you there. If you can go in cardiac arrest or something, or your arteries are so clogged that I don't care how good the insurance is. Most people that got good insurance, we never use it anyway, unless you're in the military. Yeah, unless you're in the military. What's up, Michael Beats of Life? Thanks for joining us. He says, it's difficult to determine a beneficiary for a will. Well, you can have several beneficiaries, split it up. You got $1 million, you can have 4 primary. Give them 25% each. A large sum of money usually is bad for ordinary people who haven't had to make decisions with a lot of money. Yeah. He said, I ain't giving them nothing. Yeah, Hinkley has a YouTube channel with 32,000 subscribers. Yeah, that's only in America, man. That stuff's going to happen. He's lucky that mental defense worked for him. How many years did he do? 30 years or so, 32 years or something more than that, didn't he? He says, Calvin, why do so many guys complain about taking care of their penile wife when they were simps for their Western abusers? Makes no sense. They can't take it with them. Why are they so greedy? Because, did you look at my video yesterday? We already know coming over here is an abnormal situation, so our thinking's unstable when we get over here. We think that every woman over here is out to get us when they're not. That's really not the truth. My insurance policy to Marilyn and the kids is this house, and then my goal is to put $1 million pesos in the bank for her. And guys are like, oh, you're crazy. Well, it's about $17,000 or something, but it'll make her rich, just in case I die. That's nothing, man. That's nothing. From a Western point of view. What's going on, Mo? He said, Brother Cal, I have a will in the USA. Can we set up a will in the Philippines to administer our Philippine access? I'm not sure. That's a good question, Mo, for a lawyer. I'm pretty sure you could. He says, where's St. Luke's? That's in Manila. That's where most people go for their medical when they're getting ready to leave the country on a K-1 visa, spousal visa, or something like that. He says, I've seen some Filipinos here in National City that will make a blind man see again. But that attitude. Because you're going to change in America. They're all going to change. To what extent, you don't really know, because it just depends on what the attitude was over here. But America will change you just like the Philippines is going to change you. America's going to change you, of course. But yeah, guys, I got about 4 minutes left because we're going to get ready to hit that bus, hit that highway, man. It's a torturous ride. But I've gotten used to it. Well, all my children are already American citizens, except for Booby. We're in the process of doing that now. It's just a simple process. Yeah, they already have, both of my sons are in America right now. They're American citizens. It doesn't take a lot. I mean, and that's why I always tell guys all the time. And several guys have taken my suggestion. They come back over here and did it. I mean, it doesn't take, it's nothing, man. And it's about $200. Give your kids that option. If you come over here and you see how people struggle, why would you want to leave a child behind to struggle like that? Give them some choices at least. Booey's going to grow up here. That's a fact. But then what? What if she wants to join the service or something like that? She'll be able to. Hey, thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Jeffrey. Are y'all headed back today? Thanks, Ken. I appreciate that. Yeah, but and then it's just a simple process. You need pictures showing you and the one. You got to establish a relationship. So you got pictures of her before she was pregnant, together with her while she was pregnant, and after. Now, it's going to get kind of shaky while she was pregnant, because that's when I was stuck down in Zamboanga. She was only like 3 months pregnant, so it really wasn't showing. And she wasn't trying to show it. But I think we should be all right with that. Pumpkin Joe Philippine Experience just got his kids a couple of months ago. It's real simple, man. So if you got a child over here, go ahead and do it. But yeah, guys, thank y'all so much for your super chats, your super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support for Sunshine Shoulders.
Sunshine Shoulders. It's the real nitty-gritty. Sunshine Shoulders. Boots on the ground. Sunshine Shoulders. It's the real nitty-gritty. Sunshine Shoulders. Boots on the ground. Sunshine Shoulders. It's the real nitty-gritty. Sunshine Shoulders. Boots on the ground. Sunshine Shoulders. It's the real nitty-gritty. Sunshine Shoulders. Boots on the ground.
Hey, take care, everybody. Help somebody today.